I drove 2 Ford Festivas, 1990 and 1991 Ford Festiva, and just like the wheels would not fall off. This is like a little zippy go-kart, tiny little thing. Imagine a 6'6" dude inside this little teeny shit box. But man, that thing zipped around. Yeah. And
it's like me going to Abercrombie.
Dude, I love that. Yeah. Do they make Abercrombie shirts in your size?
They don't.
You just like sew a couple of them together?
That's why. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to picture you inside of a tiny car, you know? Inside of a little Corolla.
Yo, my boy team is dope as fuck. So yeah, I just drove that little ship box, and I was driving that little ship box on Wyoming, and I was like at the stoplight right next to that Jack in the Box heading west on Wyoming, right there at Main Street. And I'm on Craigslist on my phone, and I'm just like flipping through, like, I need a fucking job. Like, how can I make some money now? Yeah. And there was this thing, like, I didn't even know it was credit card processing, really. It's just like, we set appointments for you. You go and close them. I'm like, all right, like, I'm a closer. Like, I know how to close. I'll ask for that sale like 15 times. Like, I don't care what objections you got. Just like, tell me what they are. And I got my overcomes. So
I'm persistent.
Yeah, right? And then I'm sitting there looking at this ad, and they're like, make money, like, make sales this week, get paid this week. Like, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's how it was advertised.
Dude, it's Tuesday. Like, overnight me, this laptop that I go and do my presentations on, like, it's a video, do the presentation, close. Presentation, close. Like 10 appointments a week. I mean, I was going on like 15 appointments a week, like 10 appointments a week, 12 appointments a week. I'm closing them, like almost every single one.
And you said this was a Craigslist job?
It was a Craigslist job. Like,
what?
This company that is no more, actually they are, but they don't do that division anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like my boy Lane, he's my manager. Shout out Lane. He's my manager for this job, and I'm making like $341 or something per close.
Wow.
And because like I'm upselling, it's like from 215 all the way up to like 341. I'm like, you need the check reader, you need this, and like just everything. And like, so the equipment gets there and I install it, because you get paid on the install. And I go over there, I install everything. I'm sorry, no, you got paid on the close, but I went there, installed, because like the customer service, and I want them to stay with us. And I didn't know about residual income. I didn't know like I could be earning money every single month off of this stuff. So I'm just going hard on the close and selling them all this stuff that turned out to be bullshit, and like upsells and like extra money per month. And it's like their rates are dog shit. They were on something called 3-tier. And that's where like, oh, you start off on this really nice rate of 1.59%, but that's 1.59% plus interchange, which is like the 1 to 5%, depending on the card. So like they'll charge you interchange, supposedly.
They were getting DP'd.
And then that 1.59%, which is like what we charge over here.
Yeah.
So, you know, like everyone's getting DP'd, but they're charging, so 3-tier is your 1.59 on qualified. So on qualified, low risk purchases on certain types of cards that have really low interchange. And then most of the time, like that's like 30% of your transactions. And then like 60 or 60% of your transactions are falling into that mid qualified. Add another like 1% on top of that 1.59. And then 25%, 30% of your transactions are falling under the non-qual. So why don't you go ahead and add another 2.5% to that 1.59 plus all your interchange. And these people are paying like 6-7%. And I was getting paid $341. I'm like, cool. Like I was broke last week and I just made $3,500 this week. And then the next week, the same thing happened. And the third week, it kind of like petered off a little bit. Call up Lane, yo, bro, what's up? Like, more appointments. He's like, sorry, like, got in a fight with my dad. We shut down that division of the company.
What?
What? Damn, that's a weird text.
Fast?
It was weird.
Sorry, bro. My dad, we got into a fight.
His dad is a little rough around the edges.
Oh.
Yeah. And Lane's like a few years older than I am, but like grew up rich kid, dad, like been in processing forever, like a big processor in the United States.
Yeah.
And like not anymore so much, like a little bit smaller. But like they offer these dog shit rates, and you know, like you're gonna have attrition, like accounts are gonna roll over, you're gonna lose accounts a lot. So anyway, like they shut that down, and then I'm hungry. Like I just made like $7,000 in the last few weeks. So like, let's keep this rolling around. Like I use that to pay off credit card debt and shit. And like, oh, fuck, that was the wrong way to do it. So, And then I went from one company to the next, and like just scouring the internet for all the information I could find out. Like, what are the better rates? Like, how do you get to something that's very clear cut and dry like this, like a fixed rate on both sides where I know exactly what we're being charged. And then like have this bright idea in 2012, and then that was a couple years later.
Yeah.
And then like start my own company and partner up with this dude, and like I just go around town on a rampage, and I'm like, I walk into the business, like introduce myself to the business owner, give him some free gift, because shout out to Discover, like they would give a whole bunch of free stuff, and you can still go on their website, a certain website, and it's like you can order pens and like leather check presenters and like all sorts of stuff that merchants seem to like, and you're showing up with a free gift, and they like it. So I would show up in there, give them some free stuff, and like, I don't care what your rate is, I'll cut that shit in half or more, but I'll destroy your rate, whatever it is. And I just went and I signed up a bunch of business that way. And then like a year later, everyone starts copycatting. I'm like, okay. So like I rest on my laurels, sit back, like let's figure out some more stuff to do. And then we start to get into the story, but like that's how I got into like the way I'm doing it now.
So you literally found all that on the internet?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You self-taught yourself all the information that you needed to do what you did.
Yeah. I mean, like there was nobody else teaching me, and like when it comes to money,
I thought you would have talked to Lane. Like, hey.